in Willemstad, Curaçao. It is the Concacaf Nations League today. League A, Group A pivotal tie as Curaçao welcomes the mighty Canalmen of Panama. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. We're excited for this one today in Curaçao. 89 degrees, low percentage chance of precipitation, and some winds waving their way through for this pivotal tie in League A, Group A, with a potential quarterfinal spot up for grabs. As we take a look at the left-hand side of your screen, it is a pivotal game for Panama. It is a huge game for Curaçao as well, a must-win if they want to stay in the hunt for a top 2 spot and a chance to advance to the quarterfinals. Panama are in a similar boat. They just have a 4-point cushion, and of course they're hoping to get to the top of the group by the end of the night. The previous matchups for Curaçao have been ever so tight. Just 2 1-0 defeats. They've been so close to picking up points, but not close enough, and they need a result today against the runners-up in the last Gold Cup if they are to stay in the hunt. Panama started out with a tremendous performance against Martinique last month, but they were, in the end, had to settle for a draw against Guatemala in the difficult second game of the group. They are hoping to take some road form here to Curaçao with them today and turn 1 point into 3. They'll need 3 points if they are to catch current group leaders, Trinidad and Tobago. Again, just to reiterate the scenarios, Trinidad and Tobago will play against Guatemala later on tonight, so we'll get to that game later. But this game between Curaçao and Panama is big for both teams for 2 very different reasons. For Curaçao, it's essentially a must-win if they want to stay alive for a chance of progression. They have to get 3 points. If they do so, they're very much back in the race. There's no question about that. They'd be within a point of Panama, and of course there's still some games left within the group, so that could potentially turn back their way. Panama, of course, to avoid that scenario would be crucial to get a result, but if they want to fend off the likes of Guatemala, who they're level on points with at the moment, and the likes of Martinique, who currently are just 1 point behind the Canalmen for that second spot, that's very, very important for their hopes of getting back to the quarterfinals. But of course, Panama have been shooting for the stars in recent CONCACAF play. They want to finish top of the group ahead of current group leaders Trinidad and Tobago, who have 6 points out of 6. It's a big day in general in the CONCACAF Nations League, but in particular in League A, Group A. Again, we will also have the Trinidad and Tobago Guatemala match for you, but it begins here in Curaçao with Curaçao at home against Panama. We'll take a quick break. We will get to the anthems. We'll meet the teams, and we'll kick things off from Willemstad after a short break.
Ergilio, Hato in Willemstad, Curaçao. For today's Concacaf Nations League group match, please welcome to the field the teams of Panama and Curaçao. guys, could you please remain standing as we now listen to the national anthem of Curaçao.
A great rendition of both countries' national anthems here in Curaçao as the teams exchange pleasantries. Curaçao fittingly in their home blues, and the Canalmen of Panama in their road whites with the blue trim. Jean St. Jacques, our entire crew, back here with you. Concacaf Nations League action, League A, Group A, as we meet the starting lineups for both teams. Team Gore's Curaçao 11 looks like this. Julien Gotti is the captain, helping to anchor the defensive unit, along with Justin O'Genia in front of the goalkeeper, Trevor Dornbush. And then in the midfield as well, Kevin Falida and Brandley Kuas will be very, very vital to the Curaçao effort today. In the middle of the park, with the captains about to exchange pleasantries as well. It is an all-American officiating crew today, as both teams pose for their team photos for this all-important CONCACAF Nations League tie. It's actually Curaçao's first home game of the Nations League, and it's their most important game of the group to this point. Captains meet in the middle with Ismael Elfath. And it is an all-United States of America officiating crew today in Curaçao. Eric Davis, who captains the side for Panama, is exchanging his team banner with the aforementioned Julien Gotti. Thomas Christensen's 11 for Panama is lined up like this. Orlando Mosquera is in goal. Eric Davis in the defensive unit captains the side with Fidel Escobar and Jose Cordoba. Of course, Adalberto Carrasquilla of Houston Dynamo and MLS is a crucial cog in the midfield, along with Andres Andrade, and all trying to feed the attacking power of Jose Fajardo, who leads the line. Well, it's a must-win for Curaçao. There's no other way to put it. They have to win and get 3 points today if they are to stay in the hunt for a spot in the quarterfinals, and frankly, try to avoid a relegation to League B, which they are currently in the bottom two of this group, which would lead to that, along with El Salvador, if you can believe that, who also have some work to do later on in the competition. And for Panama, currently sitting in second, where you want to be at the end of the day. Top two spots advance to the quarterfinals out of Group A and in Group B. 3 points is just about crucial for them as well, especially if they want to top the group. If they do win, they'll put some pressure on Trinidad and Tobago, who play later on tonight against Guatemala. And of course, both of those teams are trying to make sure that they get one of those final two spots, if not the top spot as well. Curaçao in their blues will kick us off from left to right. Ismael Elfath's whistle goes, and we are off and running from Curaçao. A must-win game for the hosts, a game that Panama need to have as well, with progression to the quarterfinals of the CONCACAF Nations League at stake. Panama have been the mighty Canalmen in this group for the last three, really, CONCACAF competitions. They've had two great Nations League runs. They've had a great Gold Cup campaign as well, falling in the final to Mexico. but they've also become a bit of the nearly men as well. They've come so close to lifting the silverware on 3 straight occasions in CONCACAF play. They're hoping that this run can be the run to put themselves back at the top of the region. For Curaçao, they're trying to make this a breakthrough moment and get into uncharted territory. But it starts today, and it has to start with 3 points against one of the toughest customers in CONCACAF. Something has to give. After Panama got a 1-1 draw against Guatemala, they've been through the ringer as far as away trips are concerned. The incredible atmospheres that Guatemala have been able to put together have made for very, very difficult road trips. Panama survived. They got a point. And now they're hoping that this road trip won't seem as daunting, but Curaçao will throw everything at them. There's no question about that. They've shown so far against their prior 2 opponents, Trinidad and Tobago and Martinique, that they're going to make life difficult. The big question for them is, can they score goals as Panama try to make their way inside of the penalty area? The sun shining on the field here. And again, Curaçao's defensive unit, which has carried them so far in this group stage, holds firm once again, and Panama retreat back into their own half. Well, one thing that we do know in League A is that Jamaica have clinched a spot in the quarterfinals with a big victory over Grenada last night, led by Damari Gray and company. Mario Williams as well playing a big part in it. As Curaçao win a free kick here. Have a look at the sequence, and maybe a little bit of a boot left in there by Fidel Escobar. So free kick for Curaçao. We also know that in Group B, Suriname and Grenada are both eliminated, which could be the case for Curaçao at the end of the day today if the result does not go in their favor. Of course, a loss here would end their hopes of quarterfinal stage play. And it would just be a fight to stay out of the bottom 2 after that. And it must be said, even a point for Curaçao would just about eliminate them mathematically from progression as well. So it really needs to be a win. And they get things started with a set piece. It's whipped in and not definitively cleared on the edge of the penalty area, it must be said. Picked up by Juninho Bacuna, but he couldn't do much with it. In the end, he's a bit overzealous. And it's a Panama free kick. Well, the 2 teams in the next week or so that are at the biggest stake of elimination, biggest risk, really, are Curaçao and, believe it or not, El Salvador. El Salvador had a brutal start to the campaign, a loss against Guatemala. They've just been red hot since the Gold Cup, and then a tough 3-2 defeat against Trinidad and Tobago, and that's why the Soccer Warriors are at the top of the group. And that puts them, at the moment, bottom of the table. And Martinique picked up that huge win over Curaçao, which puts them 3 points ahead. If Curaçao can match that with a victory in this game, which would just be a huge, huge moment, then it's all to play for. And there will be 4 teams fighting for that last spot. The one thing about this game as well is that a Curaçao win actually could benefit Trinidad and Tobago as well, because it could, if they take care of business later on, help them clinch a spot in the quarterfinals as well. And they have a big game as well. Guatemala, home and away, have been very tough customers of late. Curaçao may get a chance here. It's a cross into the middle that's dangerous, and Orlando Mosquera is called upon, and he gets down to his left to make the save. Kenji Gore was able to get to the byline. Just needed a bit more of a better cross to keep it away from the goalkeeper, but a warning sign for Panama in the early stages here. 5 minutes gone. Andres Andrade involved in the play on the near side. And Panama are so good because of the system that they play. They're so stingy on the defensive end of the pitch, but they also have a ton of talent. There's no question about that, and they try to use some of it here. Ball was crossed in looking for Edgar Marcenas, who gets back on the ball here. Recycle back to Andrade. It's a combination of the system that Panama have implemented, but the likes of Carrasquilla plays for Houston Dynamo. In MLS, Jose Fajardo plays for DC United in Major League Soccer as well. They're not the only ones. They've had great club careers as well, on top of what they've accomplished with the national team. But the next step is to be on the stage at the end of the competition, holding up the trophy. They've had many marquee wins. Their last marquee win, of course, was taking down the United States in the Gold Cup semifinals on penalties and dethroning the defending champions, but some late Mexico magic in the final thwarted them. And now they are hoping that they can make a deeper run in the Nations League, where they were also in the semifinals last time around, but it was Canada who thwarted them. And the U.S. not only beat Mexico, but beat Canada in the final, and that's why they are the current holders. I think you're hopefully starting to get the picture. Panama have had so many good runs, deep runs in these competitions, and of course they've not too long ago made their first ever FIFA World Cup as well in Russia. Just had such a good go these last few cycles. These last 5 years have been so memorable. They've made a ton of history along the way. Can they get back on the podium with a gold medal wrapped around their neck? That's the next big moment for them to try to shoot for. Putting some pressure on at the back here. Referees allowed the play to continue as Rashawn and Ijma is trying to dribble through some challenges, and in the end Curaçao do get the ball upfield, and if this could be kept in, this could be dangerous on this near side. Brandley Kouas, he did so well to keep it in, but he's dispossessed in the end. And Panama don't take too many more chances, and they clear the lines. Curaçao win possession back. Now, the past results in these first 8 minutes are any indication, Curaçao have been a tough nut to crack in this Nations League group stage. I guess you could maybe say that Trinidad and Tobago and Martinique aren't necessarily the heavyweights, as the likes of Panama are and Guatemala is becoming in this group. Jamaica certainly in the mix as well as far as who's in these two groups, but defensively has been where they have shined, and against a team like Panama, that could be a very good bright spot. Panama want to beat you in that way as well. And they might get a chance in behind to get the first goal. It's a lovely little chop back. 2 chop backs, maybe too many chop backs from Alberto Quintero. And in the end, too much dilly-dallying on the ball cost Panama, and Curaçao clear their lines. And you thought after the first cutback that Quintero was going to be able to get a shot away, but took too much time on it and chopped it back yet again. And by that point, the chance was long gone, and it nearly broke the other way for Anelajo Jenga. In the end, it's a foul and a free kick for Panama. Now, Quintero will want that chance back for Panama. He was in on goal. You would think, as he felt the defender catch up to him, that, all right, I'm going to chop it back and then shoot because now I've got an opening. And maybe that's what he was thinking, but then he second guesses himself and takes an extra touch, and that's where the chance had gone. So warning shot for either side in these opening nearly 10 minutes. Neither goalkeeper really called upon to make a save. That could change here. Quintero is in an offside position. The assistant on the far side, no hesitation. And Curaçao win a free kick on the Panama side of midfield. Angelo Jenga did so well to get on the break on the back end of that Quintero play. But here's the offside decision, and well, frankly, again, Alberto Quintero not paying attention there. Clearly offside. just need to look to his left. And it goes back to the great defensive shape that Curaçao has been showing in this group stage. It's on full display yet again for the hosts. And Ishba plays it ahead. Bakuna sends it all the way back to Dornbush, who's in goal today for Curaçao. And Gari really leading that back line and leading the team as well, number 3 in blue. As we talk about the Canalmen, all of their exploits, but the Blue family, as they're known, Curaçao, have certainly had incredible strides as well. They've shown quite a bit of promise, and they're hoping that that can turn into a massive victory here. And they're off to the right start in many ways, it must be said. Couple of leaky moments, but overall, they have gone toe-to-toe in the early stages. Can they create a big chance? Anida trying to slice the pass through. It comes over onto this near side, kept in. And Markello. Was played centrally. Kawas. 2 challenges come in. Carrasquilla does ever so well there to clean up the mess for Panama. He's so good in tight spaces. Bakuna. Oh, he dances past 2 challenges, Bakuna. He keeps on going. In the end, it's a crucial recovery challenge by Christian Martinez and a clearance by Mosquera. Talk about some dazzling skill. Juninho Bacuna was almost dared by the Panama players to attack them. And did he ever do that? Recovery challenge by Martinez. If he gets that wrong, Panama could have been, I should say, in very big trouble there. It's dazzling skill. He skips past 2 challenges. Lovely little ball roll to get past a third. And again, if Martinez makes a mess of that, the Canalmen could have been in a heap of trouble. Panama look to create something themselves here. Andrade played it forward. Davis curled it in centrally. Quintero out wide. Oh, a shot does come in. It's volleyed. But in the end, it loops over the top and out for a goal kick. Well, they tried to get Michael Murillo involved on the far side. He took the shot. In the end, he had too much power on it. Lovely little pass in behind by Quintero. Not a bad effort by Murillo, it must be said. It's not easy skill to hit the ball like that, but it's off the target. Oh, lovely little dummy by Quintero. You can see what he was trying to do there. Edgar Arcenas, though, not on the same page. Curaçao trying to win the ball back, but Carrasquilla does ever so well. Wins it back himself, and it could open up for him here. It's still Carrasquilla. Good save by Dornbush. Alberto Carrasquilla showing you how versatile he can be. Wins the ball back, leads the break, and takes on a good strike as well, but in the end, well held by Trevor Dornbush in goal for Curaçao. There are certainly moments where Carrasquilla can be a one-man wrecking crew for Panama. And you saw a glimpse of it there. It's a ball played over the top, needed a head on it, and Andrade was able to oblige. Far side, Martinez looks for help as Quintero. A chance here for Murillo, he thinks better of it. Plays it centrally, there's a chance to reset the play for Panama. Showing you that at any moment, they can create something. Andrade. Davis outside of his left boot, just trying to curl it into a dangerous area, nearly did so. Good cushioned header out of danger. Curaçao do need to deal with this. They do get it upfield. Kevin Falida trying to thread the ball in behind Angelo Jenga. Not on the same page as we look at that lovely sequence from Carrasquilla. Low on a hard drive, but in the end, Dornbusch does well. All of that coming off of Carrasquilla's great defensive play and transitional movement. The chance here, Andrade. Pass onto this near side is cut out. Panama will build again. And the game we have later on for you tonight, Trinidad and Tobago against Guatemala. Also of the highest importance as far as League A Group A is concerned, as the offside flag is going to go up here against Edgar Barcenas. Of course, Group B took center stage last night. They'll take center stage again tomorrow. Crucial games with Honduras involved as well against Cuba. After they played to a 0-0 draw last night, it was a nip and tuck game throughout. Cuba will have the advantage though, potentially advancing along with Jamaica. Again, it's going to be a tough hill to climb, but don't quite count out Haiti just yet either. They're still in it with a chance. They're going to need to pull off an upset against the Reggae Boys tomorrow. But if they do, they could very well be the team that advances if they get the result in the other match. Curaçao are fighting for their lives in Group A here. They're on the attack. Gore looking for a bit of space to work with, thought better of it. Well, they crawled into the penalty area, but in the end, Panama see it well, read it well, and it goes out of play for a goal kick. Justin Ogenia was able to curl the ball in the end, but couldn't quite find another teammate in blue. Again, Curaçao as well is such a great sporting country as well, not just in the beautiful game. The strides they've made in baseball and other sports over the decades has become well documented and is bearing quite some fruit. There's no question about that. It is becoming quite the sports hub in a lot of ways, and soccer has been joining the party. All the way back for Dornbusch. Takes no chances. And actually plays a lovely ball into the path of Jenga. Far side, 3 men in blue in the middle. The shot does come in, it's blocked. Got a big swing on the edge of the penalty area by Markello, but he didn't get any contact on it. Davis under pressure for Panama, but uses his great skill and footwork to get out of danger. And then a lovely ball threaded through by Barcenas, and in the end, no control from Quintero. Leads it back to Dornbusch for Curaçao. More bright spots for the hosts, but can they create a big chance? Can they get the opening goal? We've seen that with some of the teams that have set up well defensively. But then, can they get the goal required at the other end? That's what Panama in particular have been so good at. Riding things out defensively and then being clinical enough in the final third to make it stand up. Considering what Curaçao really need today, which is 3 points, that is something we will have to keep an eye on as the match moves along. Andrade for Davis down this near side, who has time and space to work with. He pokes it ahead into the penalty area, or at least on the edge. Davis again. Andrade walks it forward. Carrasquilla. When the pass threaded through is cut out. Curaçao do well to step into the space, and maybe a counterattack could be on. It's a lovely ball played ahead. However, the offside flag is up. Right idea from the Curaçao point of view. However, the pass needed to be played a touch earlier, because when it was played, the assistant on the near side was well positioned to spot the offside infraction. Kevin Falida just a step and a half in an offside position there. Headed into the corner by Eric Davis. It's going to trickle out of play for a throw. A throw-in that's won back quickly by Andrade. Barcenas. Andrade stays with it on the edge of the penalty area, but then his pass is picked off. And Curaçao are able to drive their way out of trouble. Can they counterattack from this? It's a good step defensively after a lovely run through a couple of lines of defense. Panama stopped the counterattack in its tracks in the end. More lovely skill by Juninho Bacuna. Continues to shine in the sunshine for Curaçao. We've seen a couple of lovely pieces of skill from Bacuna. Bacuna again. Carrasquilla anticipates the poor touch and wins it back. Gets past two defenders as well. Lovely little give and go. Carrasquilla cuts it inside. Still Carrasquilla, and he curls it over the top of the goal. He's just a burst of energy. Carrasquilla. How quickly he wins the ball back, strides into the attack. It's beautiful, quick first touch play, and he cuts it inside for a shot, and it's great technique, but he puts too much on it. And it curls over the top after another lovely move and lovely defensive stand as well. That's going to lead us into a first half cooling break here in Curaçao. Well, both teams have had some half chances. There's no question about that, but it gives us time to highlight some incredible individual skill that we've seen from each side. Juninho Bacuna for Curaçao. A couple of lovely little weaving runs and close ball control, and then Alberto Carrasquilla, who we've come to expect it from over the campaigns for Panama in Concacaf play. We've seen two examples of him just absolutely taking the ball off of Curaçao defenders, or attackers I really should say, striding into the transitional moment and either linking up with a teammate or finding the space to create a shot for himself, and he's become extremely dangerous from the Curaçao point of view, and they will have to deal with him as the match goes on. Of course, easier said than done. And Panama trying to jump to the top of the group with Trinidad and Tobago playing Guatemala later on tonight. Crucial games in Group A in League A in the Nations League today. There's just no getting around that. Of course, Martinique will play El Salvador after our game is over. It's a very important game for those two teams as well. So there'll be a lot of moving parts before we even get to Trinidad and Tobago and Guatemala in the nightcap in League A, Group A. Be plenty more action over the weekend in Group B in this Nations League campaign before next week we come back to Group A for the finishing touches. Out of the cooling break, Curaçao have the possession. They clear their lines. It's goalkeeper to goalkeeper in the end. Mosquera has had to cut out one big pass with his gloves earlier in the half. Hasn't had too much else to do because of the great defensive unit in front of him doing their job so far. Barcenas plays it into the attacking third. Carrasquilla rolls one onto this near side. Eric Davis provides the service into the penalty area. It was dangerous. It's headed to the edge of the penalty area, and it comes in for a shot. In the end, Martinez lets fly. And Trevor Dornbush, in the end, makes a comfortable save. Panama can be so methodical at times when they go through their rotations. But sometimes you least expect it, they come up with something of quality. In some ways, and a lot of teams at the Gold Cup found this out the hard way, they're a bit of a Venus flytrap in some ways. So much quality and consistency on the outside, but then just when you least expect it, absolutely can tear you apart. And Martinez nearly did so in the last possession. Nice win on the ball by Fajardo, I should say. He gets it out to the far side. Then gets the ball back on an incisive ball to the edge of the penalty area, but not a great first touch. Panama do win the ball back eventually here. Fajardo's the target on the ball played inside, but Anijma is able to step in. And it's out for a Panama throw on the far side of the pitch. A chance to cross this into the middle. This is a bit dangerous, but it's headed away cleanly. Martinez. Carrasquilla, who returns the favor. Lovely first time passing again. Quintero out wide. Carrasquilla wants it on the edge of the penalty area, but it's cut out by Anita. Carrasquilla again tries to flare it into the penalty area. This is going to stay in play. Chance to cross it into the middle. It's 1-0. Edgar Barcenas finishes it off for Panama. It's a lovely move by the Canalman. Intricate passing, lovely hustle on the back end as well, and a clinical finish. Give Panama the lead in Curaçao. Another look at this. Carrasquilla's ball over the top. In the end, he's beautifully weighted. It just sits there waiting for the cross to come in, and Barcenas was unmarked inside the penalty area. And in the end, Christian Martinez plays the right pass. It's a easy pass into the back of the net for Barcenas. And Panama pick Curaçao apart to take a 1-0 lead. And in the end, they made that look rather easy. Just some lovely, lovely soccer from Panama there. It's Barcenas' first goal of the group stage. And the Canalmen are right where they want to be as we approach the half-an-hour mark. And Curaçao, for their hopes of advancing, are in the worst possible position at the moment, trailing. And they don't have a ton of momentum to work with. They're trying to fend off the Panamanian waves at the moment. In some ways, it's been the same old story for Curaçao. They've held on defensively, but they've let a goal in. In the last two games, they held it there, but they couldn't get back into it. They might get a chance to get back into it here, but the touch just runs too far past Bacuna. Well, if he had maybe taken a bit more of the sting out of the pass, he would have been free and in on goal one-on-one. Curaçao might get another chance here. Bakuna tried to let that run in behind, and actually the flag's going to go up. Offside is given. And Panama's defensive unit holds firm. And they get a free kick. Another look here. Must have been on the initial ball in. I think we saw the back end of the sequence there, because on that evidence didn't look like anyone was offside, but I think it was from the pass just before that sequence that we saw on the replay. I believe Bakuna was caught off. And on we go. Senas, goal scorer, helps to recycle the play for Panama, and then there's space to work with here on the far side once again. Mosquera. He's going to play with a little bit of fire here, Mosquera, but he does get the ball away. Davis chops it down. Panama's pressure will lead to a throw-in on the near side for Curaçao. In the end, a bit of an overzealous challenge by the goal scorer. Curaçao a chance to recycle the plays. They try to fight their way back to get on level terms. That fight goes on here on the far side. Tries to cut this back. Lovely couple of cuts. It's on the edge of the penalty area. Oh, it's a good save. Kevin Felida denied by Mosquera. That's more like it from Curaçao. They win a set piece on the back end. Orlando Mosquera comes to the rescue for Panama. Nobody picks up Felida on the edge of the penalty area. It trickles out for a corner for Curaçao. Corner is taken short. It's whipped in dangerously, and Mosquera gets another touch on it. And it's out for another corner. On the back end, Van Ijma was able to get a piece of it, and he redirected it on target for Mosquera to parry it out once again. Brilliant service here from Cuas, and it hits the boot of Mosquera on its way through. It nearly squeaked its way in. And Curaçao will try once more from a corner on the far side this time. Bakuna from the corner. Oh, it nearly gets onto a head, but it's cleared away. And the referee thought there might have been a foul there, but said maybe both players were involved in the collision, so didn't give a free kick either way. Almost as if to say that the two players involved canceled each other out. Although from a Curaçao point of view, that looks like a high boot in the middle there. Vernon Anita got the worst of that. The referee, I think, is saying that Anita maybe got into his space as he was trying to clear it. So maybe neither one thing nor the other, in his opinion there. And I believe, are going to play on after a brief injury stoppage. Roberto Quintero took a bit of a shot as well, and the two exchanged some sportsmanlike pleasantries. Good to see that. And it will be a drop ball to restart the play. Curaçao will get a chance to recycle the play, although that is a rash challenge by Barcenas, and it is a free kick for Curaçao with 10 minutes plus stoppage time left in the half. The referee allowing him to get a recap of his challenges throughout the match, but that is his last warning as far as bookings are concerned. I want to play player for Curaçao has gone down on this near side. Angelo Marcello, he's struggling a little bit. He just needs a moment to regroup. Hopefully it's not anything serious from a Curaçao point of view. It looks like he maybe just needs to get something patched up on his right arm. But we will see how all of that plays out. Oh, the replay there shows that maybe it's the arm that slid on the turf, and it's a turf field here in Curaçao. You could see some of the small tire fragments come off the pitch as he fell to the ground from the Barcenas challenge. And yeah, it looks like there's going to be a little wrapping on there. Look there at Thomas Christensen, the Panamanian head coach, and the coach of the Panamanian national team. I think he's happy with the position of where his team is at, but of course the bars and the expectations for Panama are set so high. But he will expect more out of them in the second half to try to finish off the job. And for the last 8 minutes and change of this half, it's part of expectations being risen within a group, within a team. There's some defending that needs to be done here for Panama. Bacuna! Oh, good save by Mosquera. He holds on to it. Juninho Bacuna continues to be a threat for Curaçao. It was a vicious strike. Mosquera made that look easier than I think it really was, as he was able to catch it cleanly out of the air. Sometimes goalkeepers are told just to not take any chances and punch it away, but Mosquera lined it up ever so well and made a rather clean catch. Ball is served ahead. Oh, it's going to bounce inside the penalty area, but it's shepherded into a safe area by Cordoba. Another look at the strike by Bacuna. What a strike it was, but see there, well held by Mosquera in the end. Great first time ball centrally by Davis. Barcenas tried to play in Quintero first time, but in the end, it's easy enough for Dornbush. Carrasquilla from Martinez. They've been linking up quite a bit. Just clean, crisp, first time passing from Panama. That's been the difference in the quality so far. Martinez is bundled over. Free kick for Panama. Pretty clear cut. Kenji Gore was trying to stop a potential attack. And it's actually a grab and then a pull down. A pretty simple decision from the referee. Davis from Carrasquilla. Davis fends off Bacuna. Oh, it's a lovely ball played in. It could be a second. Oh, it's missed by Quintero. Well, the ball was initially intended for Fajardo on the way through. Curaçao dealt with the initial ball in, but it fell ever so kindly for Quintero, who's come close a couple of times in this first half, but he's missed the target. And Curaçao will get a free kick with 5 minutes and stoppage time still to play in the half. In the live table, Panama, of course, would jump up to first in the group, pending the result later on tonight between Trinidad and Tobago and Guatemala. Of course, if Martinique can win their game later on tonight, things can get very congested at the top of Group A here in League A. There's no question about that, especially if The results that sandwich that result in today are rather tight as well. Of course, there is a scenario where nothing is decided today, and we have to go to the final games in the group to see what happens, of course, as well. Ball is headed dangerously towards the back line of Curaçao. It hasn't been dealt with. Barcenas puts the pressure on. Curaçao do lift the ball out of the danger area for now, and they win a throw-in on the back end. Dean Gore, I think we'll take some positives from the half, but they are currently sitting where Curaçao have sat for most of the group stage, if not all of it, and that is a goal behind, having to fight their way back into a match, trying to avoid a third consecutive 1-0 defeat in the group, which would, of course, eliminate any hope of them moving on to the semis, and, or I should say the quarterfinals, beg your pardon, and then have to focus on avoiding League B relegation. Panama keep on pursuing a second goal. Can they get one before the end of the half? This is Carrasquilla. It's going to be Andrade. Davis on the near side. Carrasquilla, no-look pass, gets it back. Lovely give and go with Martinez, who looks for a free kick. Barcenas tries to find space. It could fall for Quintero. Maybe Carrasquilla, but it's poked away by Falida. Escobar lofting it onto this near side, and Davis keeps it in play. But then Bacuna closes him down. That's out for a throw. Quintero on the near side. First time ball in from Davis is blocked. Sent back out of play, and Markello continues to try to keep things tame on this side of the pitch defensively for Curaçao. Davis forced to go backwards in the end. Andrade outside of the boot, little flick from Carrasquilla. A lovely couple of touches again from Carrasquilla just to keep the ball in a position to be won by Panama, which it is. And Barcenas tries to thread another pass through. It's cut out. And Bacuna looks to get Curaçao on their way in transition. And it's going to be a foul and a free kick and a yellow card for Christian Martinez for stopping a counter-attacking play. In the end, a rather decent tactical foul to stop Curaçao's advances, but he now has to worry about that for the rest of the match, and it's a pretty clear-cut decision once again by Ismail Alfaf. I think the American official had no choice in that regard. And on we play, Curaçao in possession, final minute before we get into first half stoppage time. Plenty of bright spots for Curaçao, but they're a goal down. Can they get some momentum here at the end of the half? First time ball is looped in by Eugenia, but in the end it keeps on carrying, and it is out for a goal kick. Now the goal from Edgar Barcenas at the moment has Panama in front. It was a lovely, lovely Panamanian move in the attacking third just before the half-an-hour mark. That is the difference at the moment. We go into 3 minutes of first half stoppage time at the end of the half. Now this looped over the top. It's going to be comfortable in the end for Orlando Mosquera. Near side, Davis. Got some more space to run into. Focuses more on keeping possession in the end. Andrade all the way back. Cordoba. Andrade again. Be a chance for Panama to build one more attacking threat at the end of this half. Ball is not definitively cleared yet. Andrade for Martinez. Back into the path, and it's flicked on for Andrade, who tries to shoot. I think there was a nick on the way through that took the sting out of the shot. Again, Panama not giving up on the play, and they got another chance off, but comfortable in the end for Dornbusch because of the late challenge that came in that slowed down the effort. Gotti. Vanijma is looking to find some space to pick out a pass, and he picks out a beauty onto this near side. Kickoff does the rest to win a throw. It's intricate passing here. Oh, it's that lovely little back heel, wasn't it, by Quintero, but give credit to Anita, didn't give up on the play, and Andrade didn't quite strike it firmly, it must be said, but it was enough of a defensive stand there from Curaçao to make the effort tame for the goalkeeper to deal with. We have about a minute and change left in the half. Curaçao will get a late first half throw on the far side in pursuit of a first half stoppage time equalizer. On the far side here. Chance for some service. And Bakuna plays it to the near side. Kickoff. Bakuna. Nice run on the far side. Lovely little give and go as well. Chance to cross this into the middle. Final act of the half, but it's well defended. Michael Murillo with a crucial challenge, stopping Curaçao in their tracks, and that's how the first half ends in Curaçao. Plenty of bright spots for the men in blue, there's no question about that, but the quality that Panama brings to the table shined through once again. A first half finish from Edgar Barcenas has the Canalmen ahead with 45 minutes still to go. Curaçao need this to stay in the hunt. Panama trying to get to the top of Group A. At the half in Curaçao, it's the host Curaçao 0, the Canalmen of Panama 1. Sean St. Jacques, our entire crew, back here with you. Start of the second half here in Curaçao. It is Panama leading by 1-0. They're in their road whites, and they get the second half started, going from left to right here at the Stadion Ergilio Hato in Willemstad, Curaçao. The goal from Edgar Barcenas has the visitors ahead. In the live table at the top of this Concacaf Nations League Group A in League A. There's still 2 big games in the group to come tonight. As Martinique will play El Salvador, and then of course in the nightcap we'll have it for you, Trinidad and Tobago against Guatemala as well. And again, a lot of bright spots for Curaçao to build off of in the first half. However, they do need to win this match to stay in with a shout, making some history and progressing through to the quarterfinals. 3 points essential for the Blue family, if you will, for the Canalmen. Really not only pressing for a top 2 spot, but they of course want to win the group and see where they can go on from there. And from their point of view, hopefully get another shot at winning a trophy. US, Canada, Mexico, Costa Rica, the teams awaiting. The top 2 teams in these 2 groups. You know, Jamaica have already progressed after their resounding victory yesterday in Grenada. Of course, Trinidad and Tobago could potentially join them if they get 3 points tonight against a very strong Guatemalan side that are hoping to potentially usurp Trinidad and Tobago and get into the top spots themselves. That challenge came in on Quintero, who was spun away from it. He's been active, Alberto Quintero, just has missed a couple of big chances from Panamanian point of view. It's a lovely turn into the penalty area by Fajardo. He keeps on going, and when he played it across the face of goal, and I'm not sure if that was intended to be a pass or a shot on the back end, but at the end of the day, Barcenas didn't do one thing or the other. Looked like he was going to try and shoot. Oh, and in the end, it never got to him. It was a great challenge by Markello in the end. Great defensive work by Curaçao. And it leads to a corner for Panama on the near side. Carrasquilla is available for the short option. This is going to be whipped into the penalty area, and in the end, too much whip on it, although the goalkeeper didn't need to touch it. In the end, Dornbusch pushed it into a comfortable area for him to retrieve it at the second time of asking. Can Curaçao be clinical in the second half? That's the big question mark. They will certainly create some chances if the first half's any indication. And we've come to expect that from them, as that's some more lovely skill from Juninho Bacuna. He plays it into the middle, a chance to cross this centrally. Oh, it's dangerous, and then it's cleared out for a Curaçao corner. Lovely little interplay again on this near side. Just needed a better cross into the middle by Kenji Gore. And the Curaçao supporters appreciate the skill and effort on this near side. Juninho Bacuna has been the closest for Curaçao to making the breakthrough for them. Played another beautiful little transitional moment there, but the cross in the middle was thwarted. Curaçao have to try and build again. You feel if anyone's going to do it for Curaçao, it's going to be Bacuna, number 7 in blue. That's going to be headed out by Escobar. Another Curaçao corner upcoming. Bacuna will try and size this up again. Whips it into the penalty area. It was central, but it's headed out off the 6-yard line. And Carrasquilla does well to push it and chase it to lead the break for Panama. It's pushed into the path of Quintero, and it's great recovery play by Felida. And Curaçao just about deal with the danger. A chance to break the other way. Vernon Anita. It's played into the path of Gore. Gore for Kuas. It's cut out. Murillo does the job for Panama on the back end. As the game opened up ever so slightly there on both ends. Bacuna and Carrasquilla, who've been arguably the two best players on the pitch, meeting there for a moment. Carrasquilla doing what he does best, keeping possession for Panama by any means necessary. Another warning sign for the visitors, but can Curaçao take a chance? That's all that's been lacking from them in this group stage. Probably have looked at the first 50 minutes and wondered how have Curaçao not scored in the Nations League? Well, your guess is as good as mine. Been so good at times, they just haven't found that breakthrough moment. All Dean Gore and his side can do is keep pushing, try and find that moment. And then you never know, one goal can change everything. For those that have watched Concacaf competitions and major tournaments in general, I think that goes without saying. Great challenge by Fajardo. It's given back. A chance here for Jenga. Plays it out wide. Oh, it's a lovely little push and a chase down that far sideline. Maybe a chance for Kawas to cross it. He gets it into the penalty area. Headed out only as far as Anita. And saved on that far side by Markello, who's able to recycle the possession for the hosts. Falida. Markello out to the far side. Anita just helping it down the line. He gets another bite at the apple. Ooh, not the best touch there. Some Panamanian pressure coming on here. Carrasquilla trying to win the ball back, but now it could open up here for Curaçao on this near side. Kenji Gore gets into the penalty area, plays it across for Bacuna. And Bacuna just couldn't get it out from under his feet, and it's deflected out for a goal kick. Oh, that was a real chance for Juninho Bacuna. Gore plays a searching ball across square here, and oh, you see the back end of it, but Bacuna just couldn't get it out from under his feet properly. And it ricochets out of play. Great effort from Bacuna, really from minute one tonight. And Curaçao continue to search for a possible reward at the end here. Have to absolutely love the way they've gone about it tonight. They just haven't got anything to show for it yet. And again, these are players for Panama with a ton of pedigree for their club teams, a lot of MLS representation, and Michael Murillo plays for Olympique de Marseille in Ligue 1, in the top French league. And they have not been afraid, not for 1 minute, Curaçao. Going up against the runners-up in the past Gold Cup. They have gone with them step for step, but Panama's finishing quality has been the only thing to separate the sides so far. The Edgar Barcenas goal is the difference at the moment. Is threaded towards the edge of the penalty area. Lovely ball played in by Martinez. Quintero across. Good touch defensively, and Curaçao gets it out of trouble. And Bacuna looks to lead the break, and it could open up here. Gore with the goalkeeper off his line. That could have been handled by the goalkeeper, was it? Dean Gore asked the referee, was that handled off the line? And the center referee says it came off of his chest, and now is going to ask the fourth official for his take on it. Dean Gore can't believe it hasn't been given as a handball here. Curaçao players and fans incensed. A yellow card is given to Kenji Gore for protesting. We get another look at it. Oh, it does. It comes off the arm. It comes off the chest first, it must be said, but the hand helps to clear the ball away. And I think the referees missed it here. It happened so quickly. There's a tight angle on it as well, but it clearly ricochets off of the left arm of Orlando Mosquera, and that helps to clear the ball out of trouble. However, and this is a big, big however, there is no VAR to go back and check it. So the on-field referee's decision stands. And again, just to give the referee a little bit of credit here, that's a tight angle. It's a tough thing to see live as well. It happened so quickly. However, we got the luxury of a replay, and it does hit off the arm of Mosquera, who is very much outside of his penalty area. And I think that Panama have gotten away with one there. Curaçao will not be deterred. They keep on pushing. Panama are getting some substitutions ready as well. Ball is flared out to the far side. Markello chopping it across, and it's headed over the top of the goal by Kuas. If anything, it's motivated Curaçao to keep on going, and the crowd are right there with them. Well, another look here. Markello thought about going the low road first time, but he chops it high. And Brandley Kuas gets a good head onto it, but misses the target. And that will lead to some Panamanian reinforcements here. Jose Murillo is going to come on. That is going to be the end of the night for Jose Fajardo. We'll also see Jose Rodriguez come on as well. Just to go through the changes again very quickly, Jose Rodriguez and Jose Murillo have come on for Panama. Christian Martinez and Jose Fajardo have come off. Although now, this is going to be changed, it looks like. Rodriguez has come off, but now it's going to be Alberto Quintero who comes on. Or comes off, I should say. So Rodriguez and Murillo come on. Quintero and Fajardo, it appears, have come off. So a double switch for Panama. We're hoping to stifle the threat that is coming from Curaçao. Have to feel a little bit hard done by, it must be said, by that decision that didn't quite go their way. They kept on going. They have some defending to do here, though. Could open up for another Panamanian chance. In the end, Barcenas, the goal scorer, sends it soaring over the top. He's going to be a foul and a free kick. It's taken quickly. A bit of a bundling challenge there. That's going to be a free kick for Panama. So a free kick for Panama, Carrasquilla. And just to confirm, the two changes, Martinez and Quintero came off for Rodriguez and Murillo for Panama. So Fajardo, who was initially going to come off, stays on. Carrasquilla leaves it. Davis tries to serve it into the penalty area, and in the end, it's going to skim off the top of the head of Andrade and go out of play for a goal kick as we approach the hour mark in Curaçao. Bacuna threads the ball through. Gore, flag stays down. And it's a chance to equalize. There's a challenge that comes in. And it's no penalty appeals from the players, but Dean Gore not happy about it. Well, maybe one or two, I should say. Penalty appeals. The referee says no, waves it away. Now the look here, ooh, and it must be said, Kenji Gore goes down rather easily there. I think the referee's gotten this one right. There is no contact, and that is a bit of a dive. Ishmael Alfath came under big scrutiny for his earlier decision. That one I think he's gotten spot on. Curaçao looking for the penalty, not quite earning it. And now Fajardo at the other end has options, including Barcenas. The ball is crossed into the middle of the penalty area by Murillo, but nobody there, and Felita clears it away. Carrasquilla. Just a little dink in behind. Cross into the middle looking for Andrade is too far in front, and Dornbusch resets for Curaçao, who still need to score twice, or their chances of moving on will be extinguished tonight. Nice recovery by Felita to make sure the ball wasn't given away high up the field. Juninho Bacuna tries to use his pace to get past two Panama players, but he runs out of room. It's going to be a throw into the visitors. An incredible effort continues from Curaçao tonight. Will it be enough? Ball is headed in behind, and Barcenas beaten to it. And Van Ijma. Sent up ahead. Gore was offside in the end. This time the flag does go up. But Jenga was onside. It must have been Kenji Gore on this near side. Caught the attention of the assistant. Now the look. Tough to see from that angle when the ball was kicked, but I believe it's Gore here. He does have his arms up at the end, but it's too late. And the assistant catches him offside. Free kick goes Curaçao's way on the back end of the entire sequence. And men in blue have to keep on surging forward. They need to score the first one first, and then we will see how it goes from there. Or Panama just going to suck the life out of the game and maybe, just maybe, find a killer second goal, which could be curtains for Curaçao. Panama throw on the near side. Murillo plays in Ligue 1 in France. Throws it in for Fajardo, and in the end, it's going to be a free kick for Panama. More game management from the visitors here. Thomas Christensen and company trying to take some of the momentum away that Curaçao had for a few minutes, it must be said, through their own work, but also getting the crowd into the game after a decision they felt went against them. Now it's Panama's turn to try and find a killer second. Carrasquilla, one of the brains behind this free kick operation. He sends the ball in dangerously. Oh, it goes past everybody. And it's parried out by Dornbusch. And in the end, it's a corner for Panama on the far side. Well, in the end, nobody really attacked it. And Dornbusch couldn't take any chances, wasn't sure where it was going to bounce. And Carrasquilla trots over to take the corner. Carrasquilla will take it. It's in the mixer. It's headed towards the near side of the penalty area. Barcenas is going to let this roll. Oh, it's going to be a Curaçao throw. Barcenas was underneath the impression that it was going to be Panama's ball. In the end, it goes Curaçao's way just before they make two changes. On this near side, Joshua Zimmerman is going to come on. Henry Cuas is going to come off, and also Kevin Falida is going to exit as well. And Godfried Romerato will take his place.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the 66th minute double substitution, Curaçao coming on, player with number 8, Godfried Romerato, replacing number 20.
So two changes for Dean Gore.
And also coming on, player with number
Romerato and Zimmerman on, Cuas and Falida are off. It is definitely two attacking changes for Curaçao at their hour of need. And Zimmerman's the one trying to force the issue on the far side. Andrade all over it for Panama. Fajardo dispossessed. Tries to stay with it, but Curaçao come out with possession. Fajardo stays down behind the play. Maybe a chance here for Bacuna, but again, he is thwarted. Senas held back. And it's a Panama free kick. Curaçao's hopes of advancing. They're starting to get to that point. They might be running a little short on time here. Again, they have to win the match. A draw would not help them in the grand scheme. It could help them as far as avoiding relegation, potentially, but as far as staying alive for the quarterfinals, 3 points is what's needed. And Panama is trying to keep on sailing along in the right direction. Still, Edgar Barcenas' goal in the first half is the separator. With about 23 minutes and change to play in the match, we will head to a second half cooling break here in Curaçao. Well, the hosts have had more good moments in the attacking third. They've had a bit of a moment go against them, it must be said, but they continue to push on past that moment. Trying to create more opportunities. It hasn't quite worked out for them as far as their clinical play in the final third, and that's where Panama thrive. They've got a lead, and their defense, their possessional play, and their ability to manage the game is what is starting to take control of the match here. One goal for them, as we've seen in the past, might very well be enough to get all 3 points, which would put them at the top of the table, pending our last match of the day between Trinidad and Tobago, who are currently top of the group. We'll put the live table aside. And Guatemala, who currently are in third place. At least we're at third place at the start of the day. It's at the end of the day that matters. That's what these two teams are fighting for first. Of course, in the middle of those two games, Martinique and El Salvador fighting for the avoiding of relegation, I should say, but also Martinique in particular fighting to stay in the hunt for a quarter-final place. Another team that had some bright spots at the last Gold Cup as well. And El Salvador in a very similar position to Curaçao. 3 points for them are crucial at this stage of the group stage. Out of the cooling break, it's going to be a throw-in for Panama. Murillo. Oh, it's touched centrally into the penalty area. It needed to be dealt with. Gotti is able to get a foot to it. And it's out for a Panama corner on the far side. Thomas Christensen approves of the effort, encouraging his team to finish the job. Eric Davis is going to take the corner. Panama's captain. Davis whips the ball in. It's dealt with at the near post. Curaçao looking to break from this, but Carrasquilla does ever so well there under pressure. to keep possession on this end of the pitch. And it could open up again here for Panama. It's deflected around inside the penalty area, crossing by Rodriguez. There's a faint penalty appeal that came in for one or two Panamanian players. It's unanswered by the referee. Panama keep pushing, 20 minutes of the 90 left. Ball is played square for Hato, trying a first-time ball in. It comes up short. Merito just trying to thread a pass through on the far side, sees it go back into Panama's possession. That is a clear pull down on the far side. Markello tracking down his opposite number, Davis. Must be said, that could have very well been yellow card territory. Another look, two hands on him, at least one, clear pull. One became two hands. At the end, a little surprised referee didn't go to his pocket there. Panama do get this free kick, and Fajardo had a really good opportunity there and gets the header wrong inside the penalty area. Chance to really redirect that on target and maybe find a second goal, but he completely misses the chance. Curaçao let off the hook. Can they take advantage? Gari sees his pass picked off. All the way back for Escobar for Panama. Escobar again from Mosquera. Looks like Panama are getting another change ready. Ismael Diaz is getting set to come on. Get to that in a second. The ball threaded through here. Could open up for a chance. It's right down the middle from Markello. Held by Mosquera. Nathangelo Markello. It opened up ever so nicely for him. And it wasn't a bad effort. Just hit it right at the goalkeeper. Orlando Mosquera is a high-quality goalkeeper. Needs to be a better effort than that if you're going to get it past him. Dornbush. Anita. It's swooped down the line by Markello. And again, Curaçao surge into the final third. A push and a chase by Zimmerman, who's dragged back in the penalty area. Referee waves it away. Well, not one, but two challenges came in. Referee says not enough for a penalty. And on we go. Again, Dean Gore and multiple Curaçao players trying to plead with the referee, but it hasn't been given. Well, again, it's one where we would need another look, but we play on for now. Gore tries to split the two defenders and commits a foul in the process. Well, here's the look. Both players' shirts are being pulled, it must be said. But then it's this challenge that comes in, and there is contact. No question, Cordoba's challenge. There's certainly some contact there, but the referee says not enough for a penalty. Well, Panama will make another change here. Fajardo in the end does come off. And he is replaced by the man we mentioned earlier, Ismael Diaz. Now, Curaçao now have two incidents where they will feel they were hard done by here. I must say the first one is rather clear-cut. That one is up to your own interpretation. There was contact, there's no question, but was there enough? Did maybe Zimmerman go over a little bit too easily? Well, the referee thought so. Did not give the penalty. On we play. Curaçao have to keep on pushing despite their frustrations. Murillo. Panama still a chance to maybe polish it off. They'll get a throw in on this near side. "15 minutes plus stoppage time still to play." High boot there as Ismael Diaz tried to win the ball inside the penalty area. Initially, Murillo tried to keep that alive. Curaçao shepherded out. They'll get a goal kick. They still need 2 goals. They want to stay alive for qualification of the quarterfinals. Anything less than that, and their hopes will be dashed here tonight, and they'll have to fight off relegation. As far as relegation is concerned, even a point could be crucial if Curaçao are to stay in League A. For that, they still need to score their first goal of the group stage. They've come so close on so many occasions throughout, but they have yet to find it. You have to think there's going to be at least a couple more chances for them. Zimmerman, using his fresh legs, gets on the end of it. Andrade clears it away for Panama. Diaz, lovely balance and skill. He stays on the ball here for Panama. And the goal scorer, Barcenas, joins in. Barcenas curls it. It could be a second. It's in! Headed in at the back post for Panama's second. And in the end, it's the substitute, Jose Rodriguez, who may very well have sealed the points for the Canalmen with 13 minutes left of the 90. And in the end, when you look back at the big picture story of this game, Panama clinical in the final third where Curaçao have missed some chances. And it's the substitute Rodriguez who gets in behind to head in the second for Panama that will see them jump up to the top of the group with 2 games pending on the night. Barcenas, who scored the first, sets up Rodriguez on the second. And Panama lead by 2-0 in Curaçao. Moments of quality have been required tonight. And the substitute, Jose Rodriguez, provides one off the end of a pinpoint cross. And Curaçao's race, unfortunately, may very well have been run. Of course, the goal comes after earlier moments in the half that must be reminded of that could have gone Curaçao's way. Could have led to opportunities, but didn't. However, there's also been plenty of opportunities that Curaçao have created that they have not taken advantage of as well. And Panama have punished them for it. But the hosts keep on going. And again, Murillo penalized. It's going to be a foul and a free kick. Gore wins the set piece. Oh, and Murillo's booked as well for the challenge. What a look. Murillo maybe dives there to try to win the free kick. It's this challenge there that comes in, and the referee spots it. Goes through the back of his leg, and well, frankly, Murillo shouldn't have too many complaints over that. He doesn't get the ball with the initial challenge. And the referee deemed it to be reckless enough for a yellow card as well. Well, Curaçao still have 11 minutes plus stoppage time, but can they get the goal first? Juninho Bacuna will get the set piece opportunity. He curls it in, and it's headed out of the penalty area. And Carrasquilla comes up to pick up the pieces and clear for Panama. Another dangerous ball in, but Panama got to head to it first. And now Rodriguez could surely put a bow on proceedings. He crosses it in behind, and the header is cleared away by Gotti. And it's out for a Panama corner. Thomas Christensen on the near side. The Panama head coach was ready to celebrate another one. And Rodriguez puts in a delicious ball here. Gotti, the captain, does just about enough to get his head to it to deny Ismael Diaz. From the corner. It's headed down, and it's blocked away off the header from Murillo. But Murillo gets it back! And he tries to shoot it on target. In the end, it's into the side netting and out for a goal kick. Now, the third goal would be game, set, and match. Martinique and El Salvador still to come. Trinidad and Tobago against Guatemala still to come. But there's still some life left in Curaçao. Can they claw their way back in? Is it going to be Panama's night in the end? Diaz. Still Diaz, so well balanced on the ball, isn't he? Tough to knock him off of possession. One of the reasons why he's in the game at the moment. Rodriguez, whose goal has Panama in the clear right now for 3 points. Yep. They'll head into the top of the standings, going into the final 2 games of the night if it holds. Carrasquilla has had another tremendous performance. Curaçao win the free kick and they get on with it. Chenia. Near side, Gore. Floats it into the penalty area. Decent first touch. Jenga. It's played in behind. Bacuna! Saved by Mosquera. Oh, another close call for Curaçao. It just doesn't seem like it's going to happen for them. Orlando Mosquera with his biggest save of the night. And Juninho Bacuna with his best chance of the night, thwarted again by Panama's defense and their goalkeeper. Both teams about to make some alterations. We'll get to that in a second. Curaçao should be commended. They've continued to fight. But once again, they are thwarted. Near side, and Ishma runs out of space and concedes possession rather cheaply in the end. Another look at the passage of play here. Lovely first time ball in behind by Merito, and then great strike from Bacuna. Just a better save by Mosquera. Panamanian changes are first. Murillo and Carrasquilla are going to come off, it looks like, and Abdiel Ayarza is going to come on. Fredo Stevens is on as well for Panama. Vernon Anita is going to come on for Curaçao, and Nelson Hoey is going to come on. So Hoey is on. Panama bring on Ayarza and Stevens to try and finish the job. Here's the recap of the changes. Panama nearly there. Goals from Barcenas and the substitute Rodriguez. I think on the whole, you could just chalk it up to another professional Panama performance, especially defensively. They've come up big when they needed to, and in the attack, they've been clinical when they've needed to. But there's been a couple of moments of controversy that could have gone Curaçao's way, or maybe not, to be fair. Penalty decision is a bit of a gray area. Could have gone either way. In the end, it hasn't gone Curaçao's way on the whole, and that's all that matters. Escobar Plays it back to Mosquera. Ball is flared out wide. Ayarza's first real touch sends it out to the far side where Panama can work with it here. Rodriguez. Diaz has time and space to work with. Can Panama put a cherry on top of proceedings? Diaz so tough to deal with on the ball. He does well again. Keeps possession under pressure, and there's 5 minutes of the 90 plus stoppage time remaining. Arsenas. Murillo. Play back for Escobar. And there's still a scenario where Trinidad and Tobago can finish the night at the top of the table, but now it requires them to beat Guatemala later on tonight. Of course, Guatemala could also get to the top of the table if they win, pending goal difference. Panama could potentially add a third here, but Alfredo Stevens is thwarted. A poor touch by Gore sees Panama win back possession. Murillo. Diaz. Andrade. Piece the ball ahead. Ayarza. Oh, lovely little dummy there. And Panama win a free kick. Those dummies can be very risky. And again, Panama knowing exactly where their personnel was located. Jose Rodriguez knew what was going to happen. Gets to the ball first and wins a free kick. Ooh, a trip up there. And a challenge by Pacuna. Panama continue to try and see the game out. Maybe a bit of a frustration challenge there on Stevens. Pacuna. Dean Gore continuing, I should say, to encourage his players. They fought valiantly tonight in their first home game of the group stage. And again, Panama's play, on the whole, it should be said, has been enough for the 3 points so far. So Curaçao might get one more alteration ready. We'll get to that in a moment or two. It's Rodriguez trying to win the ball back, fouls Gary in the process, and Panama might be caught out here. Pacuna pushing it past one, but recovered in the end by Cordoba and cleared by Mosquera. Jafar Arias is getting set to come on for Curaçao, and that's a back pass that nearly came up short, but cleared away by Dornbush. That ball's floated ahead. Lovely touch by Barcenas. Puts out any potential fires there at the back. As we tick down towards the 90th minute. Escobar. Threads a beauty of a ball through, held up by Stevens, all the way back to Mosquera. Arias is getting set to come on. We'll get to that at the next stoppage. Rodriguez down the line for Diaz, who's offside. That will be a free kick for Curaçao. And that will lead to the substitution in the 90th minute. Huge hands as this substitution is made. Jafar Arias comes on. It is an attacking change, and Ijma's come off for Curaçao. He got the nice hand on his way off. We're about to see how much time Curaçao has left. We'll approach stoppage time at the end of the match. And Gary plays it ahead. Dornbush, who's had some great moments himself tonight in goal for Curaçao, came up with some crucial stops to keep the men in blue in the game. And now we enter 4 added minutes at the end of the match. If Curaçao are going to get anything from it, they're going to need to put together a heck of a finishing display down the stretch. 4 minutes away from Panama, for the time being at least, going to the top of the group in Group A. I think they have deserved it on the whole performance. Escobar. Oh, the pass back was a bit dangerous, dealt with by Ayarza. Ball down the line for Diaz, cut out. One back by Barcenas, who leaves it for Stevens. Stevens has Diaz on this near side. 3 minutes left of stoppage time. Square ball essentially for Rodriguez. Rodriguez back in for Diaz, but it's a touch too far ahead of him. And it's out for a goal kick. Now, we did say earlier that Curaçao were going to throw the kitchen sink at Panama. I think they may have done even more than that tonight. But again, it looks like they're going to put together another strong performance, but have nothing to show for it on the score sheet. In some ways, they've been unlucky, but in other ways, they have not been clinical in the final third. Two minutes left to at least get one back here for Curaçao to make it interesting here. And on the turn, it's going to be a free kick. He wins a set piece, and Curaçao will get an opportunity here to make something of it. Look at the foul here, which was against Murillo. Just sending him to the ground. Pretty well positioned. And the man who won the free kick will take it. Hoy is going to play it short. It was whipped in by Bacuna, and it was dangerous, but it's cleared out. Zimmerman recycles the play for Curaçao, a little over a minute left. Serviced again towards Bacuna. Gorgeous first touch. Bacuna lofts into the penalty area. Bacuna doing everything he can just to stay with it. In the end, Panama do come out with possession. Barcenas brings it forward and clears. Dornbush will reset, and that should just about be that. Genia controls for Curaçao. 30 seconds of the match to play. Remember, Martinique, El Salvador still to come. Trinidad and Tobago, Guatemala still to come in League A, Group A of the Concacaf Nations League tonight. In by Bacuna, one last chance to get a goal. On the turn, he's stabbed away. All is kept in play. Referee was going to give a corner, but it comes back in, and the goal is there. Well, maybe too little, too late, but Curaçao do get their first goal of the group stage. Rangelo Jenga makes it 2-1. And surely not enough time left to grab a second, surely, but Curaçao's hard work all night certainly deserves that goal. And Panama's defense is breached at the death. Lovely ball in by Bacuna. Great finish from Jenga. And Panama's clean sheet is wiped out. But in the end, that is the last play of the game. Panama do win the match by 2-1. They go to the top of Group A. Curaçao will not be able to progress to the quarterfinal stage in the end, but they gave a heck of an effort tonight. They deserve to at least get that goal, if not maybe a little bit more tonight, to their credit. But in the end, it isn't enough to stay in the fight for a quarterfinal spot, and they will have to fight off relegation into Group B, or League B, I should say, of the Concacaf Nations League. It really was an enthralling contest from start to finish. Curaçao may be a bit unlucky in some ways, but Panama's professional performance is enough in the end for all 3 points. In the end, Jose Rodriguez's goal in the second half, that man there, ends up playing a vital role in Panama, keeping all 3 points to take back home with them at the end of the night. The Canalmen are so good on the road in CONCACAF play. They do tend to get results. In the end, they do the business again at the end of the 90+4 minutes. Now Curaçao should be commended. We'll get a look at the full-time highlights to recap their great performance tonight at home in front of their supporters, where they hadn't played yet in this Nations League group stage. They certainly put together a tremendous performance to make their country and their citizens proud, but in the end, Panama just a smidge too much. In the end, a bit too clinical, I think, in the final third. That was really the difference overall at the end of the night, finishing off chances created in the final third. Remember, at the half as well, the stats were so even between the two, despite Panama's 1-goal advantage. Well, that comes down to being clinical in the final third. Dean Gore will feel frustrated over some of the plays and some of the ways the game played out, but in the end, I think it is a fair result, and Panama just about do enough. Curaçao do get their first goal on the group stage as well.
Thoughts on the match?
In the end, that is a big thing to take home with them as well.
It was a very difficult match because we knew that Panama is very strong team physically, and they are in good shape. Big country in the Concacaf, but we try our best. You see, we work hard, and we were unlucky at the end of in front of the goal. And you see that they have quality; they can score. So this is very disappointing evening for us.
I mean, you guys fought very, very hard until the final goal came in, but the result wasn't the one that you wanted. How do you prepare for the next match against Trinidad and Tobago?
Of course, the result is not what we wanted. We fought till the end, and I think we have to recover now 2 days and prepare for Trinidad here at home and make the best of it.
Thank you, Rangelo.
Yes, good evening.
Con Edgar Bárcenas de la selección de Panamá, tus primeras impresiones de esta victoria del equipo de ustedes.
No, un partido difícil, la verdad que bueno, hemos sacado lo que queríamos, que era la victoria. Y bueno, es mejor corregir así, a pesar de que no hicieron el gol. Yo creo que hemos hecho un partido muy serio, hemos estado a la altura del partido, tuvimos nuestras ocasiones, la aprovechamos y bueno, gracias a Dios se nos dio la victoria.
Ahora regresan a casa y toca jugar contra Guatemala, un partido directo quizás para querer clasificar a la próxima ronda. ¿Cómo se prepara para ese partido?
Pues como te dije, con la victoria siempre se puede corregir mejor. Ya sabemos lo que pasó en el partido de ida, así que bueno, estamos en casa, queremos aprovechar la localidad y cerrar de primero el grupo o ganando, y ya dependiendo de lo que haga Trinidad ya.
Gracias y felicitaciones.
Gracias.
Jean St. Jacques back with you one more time after we heard the perspectives of both sides at the end of a thrilling contest in the Concacaf Nations League, League A, Group A, as we take a look back at the full-time highlights between Curaçao and Panama. There's still two big games to go later on tonight. Martinique about to kick things off with El Salvador, and then we'll have the game for you between Trinidad and Tobago and Guatemala. As this game kicked off, Curaçao knew they needed to win the match if they were to stay in contention for a quarterfinal place in the Nations League. And well, we saw some great play from that man, Juninho Bacuna, in the first half for Curaçao, and they're all blues. They played very well at times. Panama as well were lethal in the attack, led by this man, Carrasquilla, who created multiple opportunities in the first half and was so good defensively. Also created this chance that was passed into the middle by Martinez and finished off beautifully by Edgar Barcenas to make it 1-0 to Panama before a half an hour had been played here in Curaçao. And despite that, there were still more opportunities for Curaçao. Great drive here by Felida. Was palmed away by Orlando Musquero, made some big saves throughout the night. And then more lovely skill from the visitors. Andrade's shot deflected and saved by Dornbush. And there was a late Curaçao chance at the end of the half, but Panama dealt with it. And that's how the first half ended in this one, but there was still plenty more to come at the end of the match in the second 45 minutes. Both teams would continue to press on, Panama fighting for top spot in the group and for a confirmation of passage through to the quarterfinal stage as well. And Panama kept on coming in the second half. Fajardo's cross into the middle needed to be dealt with on that occasion, but this man, Bacuna, kept on pushing Curaçao forward. This was a good chance. A cross into the middle from Gore, cleared away by Martinez. And the boys in blue continued to push ahead. Gore again here. And tried to find a pass in behind for Bacuna, but it was deflected away. And then good shot there as well. Marcelo testing Musquera. And there was a penalty shot. There's a couple of moments that could have gone Curaçao's way. The referee on both occasions not giving them the decision. And then a moment of quality from Panama in the final third. Barcenas, who scored the first goal, sets up the second and finds the substitute, Jose Rodriguez, who heads home Panama's second goal, which ended up being the match-winning goal at the end of the match. Lovely finish from the substitute off a beautiful ball in by the goal scorer. And then Curaçao kept on pressing for their first goal of the group stage, and it did come with the last kick of the game. Bacuna fittingly involved, finding Rangelo Jenga, and that ended up being the last act. It finished Curaçao 1, Panama 2. Curaçao's chances of advancing come to a close, and Panama are at the top of the group in the live table. A really enthralling contest in Curaçao this evening. Panama do win it by 2-1, and that is the end of our coverage from Curaçao. Appreciate you joining us. For our entire crew, I'm Jean St. Jacques. We say so long from Curaçao. It finishes Curaçao 1, Panama 2.